Hello everyone. Hi, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining in. Today I have some exciting news for skilled workers who are looking to make a move to Alberta. And for you guys, I have three words. Alberta is calling. So, hi, my name is Manish, and in this video, we will dive into the details of Alberta is Calling Moving Bonus Program. So, if you are a skilled trade person who is looking for a relocation, do consider Alberta as an option, and moving to Alberta is a program which has been announced by the government of Alberta to help offset some of the moving costs. So this is purely a program made to attract skilled trade people. So I made a video on this particular topic few months back, but at that point much detail was not available, to be honest. So now I saw that there is a lot of information available on the official alberta.ca website. So I thought, why not make a video and give you guys, all you nice people, some introduction to this particular program. I still see a lot of interest into Alberta. A lot of people are applying for immigrating to Alberta, and I just thought that maybe this information can be used. So let's go into the detail. So if you go into this particular link, I'll provide a URL to this particular page. If you go into this particular link, then there is a link for Alberta is moving bonus. So what is this program? So this program in summary is providing a $5,000 tax credit, one-time tax credit bonus to eligible skilled trade people who have moved to Alberta between 1st of May of 2024 and 31st December 2024. So in this 8-month period, so if you are a skilled trades person who has moved to Alberta in this 8 months of period starting 1st of May, so like 1.5 months back, you may be eligible for a $5,000 one-time tax credit bonus. And remember, this is a tax credit bonus. So even if you don't owe any taxes, you would still get a one-time tax credit for you and your family. So that's a pretty good amount. And to be very honest, $5,000 is almost enough to offset all of your moving costs. I moved from Ontario to Alberta, and I drove from Ontario to Alberta. To be very honest, I did my own packing and everything, and my moving cost was well below 5,000 for a family of 3. So I'm sure if you are moving from any other province which are closer by, like BC, Saskatchewan, your moving cost could be even lower. But this doesn't depend upon actual. The amount of tax credit that you get is not depending on actual. But let me go through the eligibility part. So first thing is eligibility. Who is eligible? So if you look into the mission statement, the first line over here that you can see, eligible skilled trades people. So obviously it's open for certain trades people who are eligible and who have moved to Alberta. So let's look into the details. So I went through this page for you guys, highlighted a bunch of sections so that it helps me to narrate in a better way, but it's also better for you to visualize what I am talking about. So it's a one-time refundable tax credit of 5,000 for 2,000 people. So then this translates to a $10 million fund. So government has set aside almost $10 million to be provided as one-time tax credit for 2,000 eligible individuals. So again, this is for each family, each eligible individual who migrates to Alberta. It doesn't depend on your size of your family. So those eligible individuals should be working in a skilled trade, right? Or in a skilled trade in an eligible occupation, right? So not all skilled trades are eligible. So when it talks about that, it kinds of starts giving a vibe that there is a list of eligible occupations. So yes, in this particular program, Just like if you guys have knowledge about Alberta Tech Pathway, this 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 pathway also has a list of eligible NOCs who can claim this bonus if they meet other criteria. So NOC is only one of the criteria. Okay, NOC plus other eligibility criteria. When you can apply to this particular program, you can apply to this program only after 1st of May. You cannot apply now. So if you have moved to Alberta in 1st of May 2024, you cannot apply now. You can only apply. The applications of this program will open only on 1st of May 2025. But why it's important for us to discuss now is because the eligibility of this program builds over next 12 months. Okay, so that is very important. That is what you will see when I progress with this explanation. So all the applications will be assessed on a first come first serve basis. So people who apply first will be assessed first. If they are not eligible, if their application is rejected for any particular reason, the next person will come in the line. Okay, so application is purely on first come first serve basis. Obviously, since this is a program where it involves eligibility criteria, documentation, and everything, the program will approve or deny the application. So there is no guarantee that if you apply, you will get it. If you have applied, if you meet the criteria, you will be eligible. Your application will be assessed by the government, and a result will be declared. Goes without saying, but it's still there. Goes without saying that any money that you receive is tax-free. Yeah. So let's talk about eligibility. This is very important. So this program is open only for those people who have moved to Alberta between May 1st of 2024 and 31st December 2024 and are a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. And you must be a resident of Alberta for at least 12 consecutive months. So after you moved to Alberta on 1st of May 2024, you will have to be resident for 12 months. And then when the application opens on 1st of May, you can apply. So that's the logic of May 1st, 2025. This program is giving you enough time to build up that eligibility. You must be a tax resident of Alberta, which basically means that when you submit your applications, you would submit your tax returns on that tax return. It declares the province of your residence, and that must be Alberta. So you must be an Alberta tax resident, and you must have received your 2024 notice of assessment. So what this means? This means that you should have filed your taxes before you have done your application. So for example, if you moved here on May 1st, before you do your application on May 1st, 2025, you must have done your taxes, you must have submitted your taxes, and you must have received the NOA from CRA. NOA stands for Notice of Assessment, which you get as soon as you submit your IT returns. For some cases, it can take a day or two, but in most cases, I think you receive it within the same day. You will receive a notice of assessment in your CRA account. So you must be an adult, Canadian citizen or permanent resident, and move to Alberta between May 1st and December 2024. This is your eligibility. Apart from this, there is a NOC or a work-related eligibility. So you can be either employed or self-employed. That doesn't matter. But you should be either employed or self-employed in an eligible occupation. So if you click on this particular link, you will get to know what is that particular list of occupations. So let's open that list. So if you open this list has, let me see, 62 NOCs. This list as of now contains 2016 version of the NOC. Okay, first thing that needs to be understood is the NOC codes here are 4 digits, and these are the 2016 version. Obviously there is a 2022 version which you can get from the NOC website. So this is the link for the NOC website available. You can go there and find your corresponding 2022 NOC, 2021 NOC. But what is more important is just to look at what kind of occupational groups are here. So as I said in the beginning of the video, this is for certain specific eligible skilled trades. So the most of the NOCs that you would see here are related to trades, which basically means you would see mostly NOCs of 7 and 8. Most NOCs are 7 and 8 here. There is one NOC 9 and couple of NOC 2s, but mostly these are related to skilled trades. So what does that mean? So if you look into the NOC website, so I just highlighted for the sake of understanding, these are the type of jobs that you must be doing. So if you are working in a skilled trade, and if your NOC is within this list, 7, 8 or couple of 2s. So if your NOC is within this particular list, then you could be eligible provided you satisfy other conditions. So as I said, there are other conditions apart from the NOC. The good part is it's not just that you should be employed. You could be employed or self-employed in those NOCs. Okay, now then the discussion shifts to eligibility under each of the applicants. So if you are employed, if you are working for somebody, then apart from working from an eligible NOC, you must be working full-time. Obviously that goes without saying, and you should be able to provide the proof of employment. Like, so there is a list of documentation. I'll just go through what is eligible, what is the acceptable documentations for proof of employment. But this is a very high level discussion for the employed applicants. For self-employed applicants, again, you should be self-employed in one of these eligibility, one of the NOCs that I just showed you, and you should be able to provide documentation to validate that you have sufficient business activity in Alberta. This includes, again, this is not just documentation. This includes in addition to documentations, or as part of those documentations, you should be able to demonstrate that $2,000 of gross revenue was possible for you in the prior month of application. So again, I take an example of a person, say, who moved to Alberta on May 1st of 2024. He started the application on May 1st of 2025. So in the month of April, he must be able to demonstrate at least $2,000 of revenue, not profit, revenue. So there is a difference between revenue and profit. We will go into accounting if we start discussing that. So $2,000 of gross revenue should be possible in that particular month, in the month prior to your application. Okay. So again, very important for you to understand. Okay. Let me go through the application the application guidelines. So this is also a PDF which is available, which is not a very big document. I would say just a 12-page document. So let's go through this particular document. Most of the information I have already covered. So $10 million kind of fund available. This is for people who are eligible. So how to make this application? I just went through the eligibility criteria, which is also repeated in this particular PDF. So the eligibility is here, and then just for clarification, there is a list of ineligible applicants. So for people who are not who are not PR or Canadian citizens, who have not stayed in Alberta for consecutive 12 months, and then who did not move to Alberta between 2024 and December 31st. So in the current 8 months, if you have not moved here, you are not eligible, like me, who moved here long back, couple of years back. We cannot claim, and we are not employed or self-employed in an eligible occupation. So even if you moved in this 8 months and you're not working in one of these occupation lists, you are not eligible. Okay. So these things I already covered, what counts as an employed applicant and what counts as a self-employed applicant. So one thing that is here is that you cannot be considered employed if you own more than 40% shares. So if you are working as a partner in a particular concern, even though you are drawing a salary, but if you own more than 40% of the voting shares, you cannot be considered as an employee of that particular corporation. So just a clarification. You can be considered as a self-employed. In that case, you need to provide documentation and proof of at least $2,000 of gross revenue. Okay. Now, how to apply? Like this would be the next question in your mind. How to apply? Although the date of application is May 2025. But still, I will cover that. Just before that, certain clarifications. You could be apprentice or intern in that particular occupation as long as you are working full time. Also, you need not work. You can do multiple work to make up the employment requirement. So if you are doing 30 hours of, I think 30 hours, right? 30 hours a week of job in multiple NOCs, then you could be eligible. So it allows even people who are working multiple jobs. So all your full-time work need not be in one application. It says in at least one eligible occupation, but you can work in multiple occupations and make up this particular 30 hours per week or 130 hours per month number. Okay, let's go into the next pages. So the next pages goes through eligible occupations. This NOC list I have covered. This is the 62 NOCs that are there. How to apply? Okay, now how to apply is not something that I can demonstrate right now, and there is a reason for that. So first thing first, you need to have a alberta.ca account. Okay, and that account should be verified. So if any of you have already opened a alberta.ca account, you must have seen there are two types of alberta.ca account. There is an unverified account and then there is a verified account. A verified account is mostly for people who have certain kind of documentations once they arrive in Alberta, like your driver license or insurance bill or something like that, or a property tax bill. So those are verified alberta.ca accounts. Then there is a free account which is used by students, which is used by new applicants who are accessing certain kind of services from the government of Alberta, which is not that critical. So for this particular service, to be able to claim this $5,000 credit, you should have a verified alberta.ca account. If you don't have an account, you can always open this particular account and apply. Right? So this is the particular portal. You should apply. Now next is on application. So if you go to here, how to apply, first thing is first, you have read the guidelines. This program, step 1 is done. We have discussed the eligibility. You have moved to Alberta from May to December of 2024. You have stayed here for 12 months. You are working in eligible occupation, and then all those shebang. You did that. Then you need to sign up for an alberta.ca account, a verified alberta.ca account. So this you would do once you are sure that you are eligible for the program. However, I would say this step 2 is more or less automatic. If you have moved to Alberta, then there is a very high chance you have already opened a alberta.ca account for some kind of work or other, right? So you have verified your account. This is a very good portal which is used for a lot of services, not just immigration or not just tax credits, but for a lot of services. So there is a very high chance you already have a verified alberta.ca account. So that is also done. You will need some documentations. You will need to apply it online, and you can do that online. Okay. Then gather all the documents. This is the most important part. Gather all the documents that you need. Let's see if this documentation checklist is available here. Yeah. So gather all the documentations that would support your application. So things like Alberta driver license, social insurance number, then your notice of assessments of previous year, your records of employment, your utility bill, bank or credit card statement, mortgage documents, home insurance documents. Okay, so these are, you need to provide 2 proofs of residency. Okay, so this is the proof of your previous residency. You need to provide documents of as proof of your earlier residency, and then similarly you need to provide proof of current residency. So 2024 notice of assessment where Alberta is mentioned, Alberta driver license and Alberta ID, and then certain documents. And so you have your driver license in Alberta, and then certain documents like these, like your utility bills, your bank or credit card statements, and things like that. Okay, so this is the section for your current residency. So right now we are just into the first part of documentation where you need to provide your Alberta driver license, SIN, your I think it's driver license and SIN, plus your previous residency documents and your current residency documents. This is, I think, there just to prove that just to show that you have actually moved to Alberta recently in the last 8 months or so, right? So if 2023 notice of assessment should not say that you are a resident of Alberta. Simple as that. Your 2024 notice of assessment should say that. Okay. So that is the main thing. Okay. Next comes the employment or the self-employment related documents. So if you are employed in Alberta, if you are working for a company, then something like pay stub and a job offer letter. There is also a moving bonus employment verification form. This needs to be provided. Okay, so this needs to be provided. Or if you are self-employed, you can provide documents from your business like your work contracts, invoices, basically showing that you are able to work, that you are actually working in the occupation that you are claiming, and then $2,000 of gross revenue as demonstrated by your bank statements or financial statements. Okay. In addition to that, any kind of business license or the GST registration and these kind of legal registration documents needs to be provided. Okay, let's go through the employment verification form. Let's see. This is the employment verification form which needs to be provided, right? And then this needs to be provided by the Alberta. Yeah. So basically this is provided by your employer, that he would confirm that I am the current employer of applicant. It would go your name, or if it's a union, then union, and the applicant, your position in that particular position in that company, and then your length of employment in that particular company. He would then print his name and place and then sign this particular form. A very simple form. In fact, this is the simplest form I have seen, just a 1-pager form that your employer needs to provide. Okay, obviously this has to be true to be able to be eligible. Once all the information has been collected and submitted, the portal will show the status. Yeah, coming to the portal. Okay, I'll show you one more thing here. So if you come here to the main portal, the first thing it says here is here. Step 4, the last step. You have gathered everything. You have done step 1, 2, and 3. You have made sure that you're eligible. You have signed up for a verified alberta.ca account. You have all the documents that we just discussed. After that, you should still come here on May 1st, 2025, and then the link will be provided here. This link will be open on 1st of May 2025. This is not available right now. This link is not available right now. Okay. So right now you can probably start working on the documentation part, right? Like make sure you have your Alberta license, you have your pay stubs and everything in place. Obviously, right now, like you know how to access your pay stub. You talk to your employer, make sure that they are ready to be able to provide this particular verification letter. So just go through the documentation. Even though not actually starting the application documentation process, you are at least mentally prepared on the documentation required. When the time would come, a link will be here. You will click that link, submit your application, and then the status can be tracked online. So you would submit it online. Everything, all the documentation would be submitted online. If there is any kind of question, you would be contacted via the portal or via email, and make sure that you check and respond to those methods or those questions. Okay. Once the payment, once your application is approved, you will receive a $5,000 of direct deposit or a check, whatever method you have selected. And then you would have to obviously provide your bank program. And this is only a one-time credit that you are getting. That goes without saying. This program is anyways a one-time program. This is open for only applicants who have moved in to Alberta in the last 8 months. Okay. Processing time, they have not yet declared how much would be the processing time for this particular application, but the fact that it's a 2,000 application system and a $10 million budget, this is a pretty substantial application which can take some time by Alberta to process. But then this is just a one-time tax credit that you are getting. So maybe 8 to 10 weeks it might take. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me anywhere. But there is no particular number that have been declared till now. Okay. So yeah, it can be faster. It can be delayed. So this is also a very good resource document. I will provide a link for this document on the comments of this particular video. Okay. So yeah, thank you everybody for listening in. I hope that you guys get some value out of this particular video. This is not a typical PR or a PNP related video. This is for people who are already a PR or a citizen here in Alberta. But again, with so much interest in Alberta, who knows, this particular video or this particular information might just help somebody with $5,000 of tax credit. And then you saw all the documentation requirement. There is no documentation. This is not based on actuals. So even if you walked across from BC to Alberta, you would still be eligible for this particular tax credit, provided you satisfy all the other conditions. So yeah, so this is a long video now. I've now get into habit of making shorter videos, but once in a while there would be these kind of longer videos which would come up. So yeah, so I'll let you go for this particular session, and I will see you in the next session. And if you have any questions, reach out to me and I'll try my best to answer those questions. Thank you so much and have a good day.